Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? We are here with the other semifinals, the second semifinals of PiGFest 3.0. Team Liquid's Clem in the top left side, looking fantastic. People are slapping baguettes down in the chat to support him, getting very excited for their Frenchie. Down in the bottom right side, the Danish Wunderkind. That's right, Wunderkind is definitely Danish, guys. No one actually knows Danish except Danish people, but it's basically almost German, so Sidestorm Gaming's MaxPax. We just managed to alienate an entire country within the first minute of the cast. Fantastic. Alrighty then. Well, it's kind of cool to see the Danes have another really top pro, though. It's been a while. Bunny, who also actually played for Team Liquid many years before Clem was ever signed by Liquid way back in the day, was a fantastic Terran player, hailing from Denmark, was around for a few years. Oh, the double Drilly Boy surround. MaxPax not going to be able to block that command center. Good defense by Clem. And MaxPax does go Cybercore into Nexus. MaxPax is very stable with his openings. I would say if there's one big weakness this man has, excuse me, it's like he's maybe too stable. And oh, look at that. Does get taken down by that Marine. However, MaxPax saw there was no reactor, so he should know this is a very quick factory build where Clem was delaying production on the barracks. How he reacts to that is up to him, but generally speaking, it means you have to be a little bit more on guard up against very quick drops. There could be a quick factory swap into the reactor, so early Hellion mine play. All of those sorts of things are options. Now Clem's got a bunker on the way. This is Clem's map pick as well, for those who don't know. And we're playing on the Europe server since they're both European, which means the players have very low ping. Now, Zealot coming forwards across the map. That's interesting. Zealots and Stalkers. Zealot, Adept, Stalker, Chronoed. Okie dokie. He's trying to take advantage of the delayed production with this build order. There is a Hellion on the way. 2 Marines starting up. The bunker is there, though. And MaxPax not going to be too happy to see that bunker. Not going to be able to delay that command center either. So there's really not much to find at all. Maybe he gets in between with the Adept and stops the Marines getting in the bunker. He can run around the south and deny a bit of mining. But the Twilight Council has been delayed a little bit. The Adept shading up. Doesn't get up that ramp. Feels like a pretty solid opening for Clem so far. For those who don't know, Clem does have a 2d1 win rate versus MaxPax. There are times where MaxPax just runs through him, but more often than not, Clem does get the better of him. They've had a lot of close back and forth series over the years. The Zealot and the Adept take a fair bit of damage, and the Marines all get inside that bunker wounded, but none of them actually falling. Clem feeling safe enough to drop mules on the natural, but messing up a little bit. The Adept's keeping his SCVs from mining, and a Widow Mine drop looks like it's going to be the order of the day. Clem's still poking around with the Hellion, but unable to get out of the base unless he's willing to take a few hits. Adept Shade does go forward as the Hellion runs past. There is nothing at home right now, guys. Warp Gate is finishing. Should be able to... Oh, he's gonna wall off, guys. But it's not a full wall just yet. There is an opening, which I think a Hellion can squeeze through. There we go. Stalker warps in. And it scouts. And that, of course, tells you, wait a second. This looks mighty suspicious. Is this 4-gate blink? I see so many gateways already. Now, we can tell it's only 3-gate blink, so it's kind of halfway between the greedy 2-gate blink into a quick third and the very aggressive 4-gate blink. This is basically MaxPax saying, I'm just going to play, you know, feeling it out, figuring out how this goes, not trying to overcommit one way or the other. Clem, on the other hand, building Tank Raven. Very standard follow-up into a very well-timed 3 barracks play. First Widow Mine drop coming into the main base. Guys, there's only 3 Stalkers and an Adept on this map, and none of them are in position right now. It's all about the response, just pulling the probes away, trying to take minimal damage. I like that burrow, unburrow micro for Clem. Uses that to cover the Widow Mine, and trying to just waste as much time as possible. Oh my god. Oh, Clem just keeps changing targets. Finally fires. Gets 2 more probes there. 3 probes in total, not too bad. One of the Widow Mines is always going to be waiting in the back to come in later. Clem just doing a super solid opening. I feel like this is such a change-up. We've watched so many Koreans play in this tournament. Very few Europe versus Europe matches. But when you see Europe versus Europe, you see the players much more defensively stanced and kind of relaxed in their openings. There's less curveballs to catch your opponent off guard, less gambits, much more like, let's get to the mid-game and then we'll see who's better. The siege tank on the low ground does cover this very well. There's another tank coming up here as well. MaxPax just backs away. He still doesn't have a third base started. He's going to go for the triangular third there, but only after warping in 3 more Stalkers. Ooh, 4 more, in fact. He is actually on 4-gate blink. Never mind, guys. I am blind. There was a gateway in the main base. We're still just transforming. Stalker's going to go for the Blinky Blink. He's going to go for it. Oh, Siege Tank is in position, though. Gets a punishing double shot off the Stalkers. Ah, MaxPax, careful, mate. He's got to be really cautious with this sort of play because it feels like Clem, knowing he's got a wide open main on Gressman, was ready for it. The Adept does get picked up and saved. At the end of the day, he somehow only lost one Stalker, and that kind of amazes me, guys. The Widowmine drop is still holding in the backside. Hats off to Clem for not doing a panic select all army key. Siege Tank's covering, but it doesn't cover the whole natural. This is wide open for Stalkers to get some damage. I always do feel that MaxPax 4-gate blink just doesn't quite have the fire of the old school, like, parting 4-gate blink, where, you know, he'll delay blink to get the robo faster and that sort of stuff. It always feels a little bit more defensively stanced, and oh, the Raven, one of the units that gives MaxPax so much trouble whenever he's playing Beyond, but also here when he's playing against Clem. But he does get 4 SCVs, picks up, gets those Stalkers out. It's a shame that he's not able to take advantage with these Stalkers, though. That tank was not covering. This is wide open for the pickings. Oh, no, Clem on sieges at the wrong time. MaxPax is going to dive in here. A Siege Tank and a Marauder already going down. Time to just get out of there. Stim is finished. It's time to run. Good blink backs for MaxPax. He does still lose a Stalker, though. Yeah, it's a, man, with Stim and so many Marauders in the mix, he's got to be careful. Stalker drop comes in the backside, but the Siege Tank does force him back. He's going to recall that Prism. Stalkers on the front, maybe trying to fight a little bit too frequently. It's good to do damage to the army as it moves out, but there's a fine line between that and overcommitting and losing all of your Stalkers that are already heavily damaged. I think he's got to pull them back and let their shields regen now. Up to 15 Blink Stalkers is MaxPax. Clem would be wise to back off on this map, or he's going to get jumped on. He does scan. He sees a few Zealots there warping in. Charge is on the way, going up to 6 gateways, and that third base getting probed up. But MaxPax is only on 47 workers versus 51 SCVs. On the macro, it's just really bad for MaxPax right now. It feels like Clem is miles ahead. The Widowmine is still alive. The Raven is still alive. And in general, MaxPax just does not play Stargate very often. And I think it's a big issue for him because we see a lot of players say, hey, if you never play Stargate, I can just get away with blind opening Raven. And it's such a good position for the Terran. Single Zealot does a backstab, but the Marauder's there ready to defend. Widowmines do blow up on a few of these. The Stalker Micro is going to need to be excellent here. The battery overcharge does help heal those bad boys up, but as the Siege Tank comes here, MaxPax is in trouble. He's under the gun, and that tank just zoning him out here. There's so many Marauders with Stim as well. Zealots did get inside the main base. Clem accidentally picks up a medevac and flies across the map. That's got to be a mistake. But it doesn't seem to matter. He's just so far ahead in supply. Clem is running away with this game right now. MaxPax does not have the numbers to keep up with him. And as that pylon goes down, your battery's going to get depowered. The Stalker Zealot trying to hang on, but just not able to compete with the numbers of Clem. Clem equal in workers and up at 69 army supplying with the power of memes and the power of Terran. His gun boys are dancing back and forwards. He is all over it right now. He is looking absolutely fantastic.
How does that baguette taste?
Well, I don't think it tastes very good, mate. MaxPax is definitely not happy about that.
Cheering Impa.
Ah, definitely already pulls out the Imba. I mean, it feels like that. This is, of course, Clem's map pick, but it feels like Clem has just played a very standard, solid style, and yet MaxPax is falling quite far behind. Clem, of course, putting a bit of salt in the wound, I think, with the how does the baguette taste, mate. Bit of a poking and prodding at his opponent's psychology, trying to get him to tilt a little bit. Immortals and Stalkers running forwards. The battery's there as well. Ooh, one of those medevacs does go down, but there's still 5 behind it. Clem, he's so good with his stutter step in and out. And look at that. He just runs in. Battery overcharge doesn't matter. There is just too much fire. The Immortals crumble to that counter Marauders. And Clem takes a very confident game 1. All right. A rough map 1 loss for MaxPax, and his predictability really biting him in the butt in game 1. But now he's on his map pick near Humanity. Let's see what he can bring out. Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax. His opponent in the top left, this is Team Liquid's Clem. Clem has a very clear weakness in StarCraft, guys. It's cheeky strategies that catch him off guard, all-ins, and general backstab-focused plays. In TvP especially, he's been way ahead in like World Championship quarterfinals before versus Zest. And Zest would basically just build more army rather than doing the standard thing of building more economy like Protoss normally does. Clem would move out and just get backstabbed to death and constantly get caught out of position. It's the same way he loses TVZ. To a lesser extent, TvT as well. Really, basically, fight Clem on his terms. Let him play a standard TvP opening, and I really feel he becomes like this super powerful TvP player. The reason why he's not known as a strong TvP player, and it's actually considered a weakness when he plays Korean Protosses, is they're very tricky with their build orders. And like if you put him up against, say, Hero, I would favor Hero massively versus Clem. I think it's incredibly hard for Clem to beat him just because Hero has so many builds up his sleeve. MaxPax, though, almost always recently, I've noticed a pattern, and that is he always goes Probe Scout, always goes Cybercore into Nexus. So there's no real edges that he takes early on, and he hasn't been doing things like the old Proxy Gate builds that he used to. So I would like to see him at least shift into Stargate play this game, as historically in the last few months, the Raven, even before the patch, was giving him trouble from Beyond, because they play like all the time, MaxPax and Beyond. But after the patch, I think those Ravens being faster and cheaper, it's been even more problem. And that probe does hang out on the map, which is cute. Looks like it might want to proxy something over there. SCV comes in, sees the Nexus. Good scouting for Clem. Factory goes down behind this, so Reaper Marine Factory, very standard opening once again. And that pylon is going up. Interesting. This looks like it's going to be a proxy gate build by the looks of it. It could be a Stargate, but it's Adept and Warp Gate first. So if it's a Stargate, it's a delayed one. And it is just a second gateway. Okay, MaxPax going for the second gateway proxied. Third gate at home. It's a 3-gate. All right, he's going to try and do a bit of a 3-gate, potentially busting in, maybe just shading a whole bunch of Adepts in. I haven't seen this build work a lot recently, so I'm really curious to see it in action in this game and see whether it finds the mark or not. Oh, the Adept does get out of there just barely, but only gets one Marine kill. The other healthier Adept comes in. Can Clem get that low hit point Reaper? Careful, MaxPax. Oh, careful. You don't want to lose that Adept, but it started to regen its shields. And if he gets 2 Adept hits on this, it will kill the Reaper. Gets it! Nice catch from MaxPax. That shuts down Clem's scouting. Clem never saw the second gateway or the third gateway. There's a Twilight coming in as well as probes behind this. And now as Warp Gate finishes, we'll be able to warp in 3 units on the front. This is a good start for MaxPax. And it looks like he may indeed find the mark with this. If this Hellion comes out, if he can get some hits, that would be big. But no, the Hellion's going to get out there and see the gateway. Big scout for Clem. Unfortunate for MaxPax to let that go right past him like that. The Adept's going to do a bit of damage to that Hellion. Almost takes it out, survives on 2 hit points. Adept's trying to shade on inwards right now. Depot Wall gets raised. We've got Widowmine, Liberator on the way. There's 2 Hellions out. He was actually planning to go for a 3 Hellion drop. Was Clem in this game? But now he's lost one of those Hellions. 2 SCVs going down. The 5 Adept pressure doing very well. This is the modern version of the old parting build. This one's harder to scout because you don't build your gateway earlier than normal. You take your normal gateway and gas timings. But it's much harder for your opponent to see it coming. The Adepts and the Stalkers are going to focus these SCVs down really fast. MaxPax, oh, he's got to make sure he focuses the SCVs. MaxPax focus fire was not perfect there. Clem pops an SCV into the bunker, pops some out, but oh, dude, the gateway units are just so much stronger than his units. 6 SCVs going down. I love this build by MaxPax. He's getting some really nice damage. A few more SCVs would be the cherry on top of the cake. 3 more Stalkers do warp in. Robo's on the way, as well as a 3rd and a 4th gas. It's going to be a 2-base Colossus follow-up for MaxPax. And another unit goes down. Another SCV, another Hellion. The Liberator's trying to counterattack, but that means his ramp is open. No more Liberator sieged up there. Where are the Widow Mines as well? Looks like the Widow Mine must have already gone down. The Liberator tries to siege on this, but Clem is in shambles. These Stalkers dancing around, one-shotting the SCVs, the Marines, and once the Marines are gone, not much firepower on those SCVs. The Cyclone can get taken out by Stalkers very quickly, and it dies! Clem taps out. And just when I said MaxPax has been too predictable recently, just when I said Clem is weak to weird, surprising attacks, MaxPax pulls out the perfect build and says, just like that, buddy. Very, very, very nice. You got some words for Clem MaxPax at the end of that game?
Lock up your wives, lock up your daughters. Protoss is coming.
Whoa! Fighting words there! Responding to Clem dominating his match and fighting words. Hot damn. All right, nice way to fight back for the Danish prince. Some say he's an AI since we've never seen his face. Some say he's Danish royalty and he can't embarrass the family by playing in low-class StarCraft tournaments. I say it doesn't matter. I say this is Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax and he's bloody good at this game. His opponent in the top left side gonna have a little bit of fear in him now, playing stock standard openings can be vulnerable to those surprise attacks. Clem in the top left side. Especially if you're building a bunch of Hellions. Hellions don't really help that much versus a committed 3-gate attack. You'd much rather have Widowmine, Cyclones, tanks. So Clem, he was building... The reason we know he was going for that 3 Hellion build is he had 2 Hellions built, cancelled the 3rd one, and obviously started building other units when he saw the 3rd gateway. But he was probably going to do either a 3 Hellion drop, or he was going to do an 8 Marine drop in MaxPax main, and then do the 3 Hellion run by on the natural. A classic build we don't see as much anymore. But fantastic to see that one out there. No scout for Clem. Very standard for him to skip the scout and just open up with a Reaper. MaxPax's going to go for that Cybercore to finish walling off this area, the jump-in point. It's going to go down for that. Once again, Probe Scout, Cybercore before Nexus. Really solid play for MaxPax. And on this map, it makes perfect sense. You don't want to be risking going for a late Cybercore. On the other hand... Game 1 and now Game 3 has been Marine before Reaper for Clem. Let's see if he can... He's done a much better job blocking this time. Delays the command center by about 6 seconds. And he doesn't lose the probe. So already a big improvement from how this opening matchup went in Game 1. It's once again delayed barracks production to get a factory and then the reactor. So similar matchup of builds from that one. I think MaxPax will be more prepared this time around with his Stalker positioning. That Widowmine drop was a big issue. I also think with Clem... You can't leave your workers mining next to the Widowmine. A lesser player will mess up and let the Widowmine fire, but versus Clem, you want to leave a single unit in range of the Widowmine, and that forces it to fire because there's nothing to change targets. It's either let it shoot as Clem or unburrow it. And either of those gets the desired result of you cleaning up the Widowmine drop quicker. Whereas that was an issue in Game 1, remember, the constant retargeting. Stargate for MaxPax. I love Stargate play, guys. I think it's a really good change-up. I don't like it on this map, though. This map's really small and cramped. It can still work just fine. Phoenix Colossus is pretty good here as well because your bases are quite compact. You've got, like, pretty close base location. But frontal pushes also hit you faster, and you've got less room to use the scouting information. And that's the main advantage of Stargate players. You get to see everything that happens in the game with Stargate. The downside is you're investing a ton of gas into a very mobile scouting unit. That doesn't help in a frontal fight. Ah, look at that, guys. The Marines push back the Adept. He sneaks out by the way. Curse of the Urubu. Wow, they're breeding! Those Urubus are breeding, guys! This is the first time we've seen the Urubus breeding in the wild. Oh my god, it's like a whole mating ritual. That was... Wow, that's... Wow, I've never seen this before. They're really going at it, damn. Unlike pandas, the Urubu has no problem proliferating its numbers in the wild, as long as there is no abundance of predators. The Adept does shade into the main. The Hellion goes down without getting a single kill. The Adept's going to rotate around that top side as well. The SCV goes down. And it looks like a very nice start here. They're still going at... Is this a feature of the ESL map that they've programmed the Urubus? Or did they somehow bug out and they keep scaring each other back and forth in the same pattern? I'm fascinated. This is the ESL version of Babylon. I'm hoping we can see the same area there. And I wonder if the Urubus on that side are there. For those who don't know, the curse of the Urubu is that if you kill the Urubu, you always lose. So far in this tournament, it was only Skillus that we caught killing it, and he did lose that game. Ooh, good pullback. Barely avoids the Widowmine shooting. Clem is playing Raven, guys. Raven's very bad against Phoenix play. This is a really good matchup of builds for MaxPax so far. It would be even better if there was a Widowmine drop that came across that he got to kill for free with the Phoenix, but getting some damage, you know, he's already killed a few SCVs, 2 SCVs and an Alien. He's going to go for a third base behind this on 4 gases. His Robo is up, and the Robo Bay goes down, so indeed, Phoenix Colossus play it is. Now, the Raven can still pay off if you land those spells. Oh, the Widowmine does take out the Phoenix, or at least pushes them back, taking a fair bit of damage there. Nice Widowmine placement across these bases. Good defense by Clem. He's now got stim and shields, as well as 3 racks Marine production on the way. Watch for the reactor to go down on the factory and the starport in the near future. On the other side of the map, an Immortal is building and a 6th Phoenix. So you've got to preserve this Phoenix count with this style of play. He's hunting for the Raven, and he could just dive through, but with 2 Phoenix already heavily damaged, MaxPax knows he'll likely lose 1 or 2 Phoenix if he does that. I would say the earlier you do it is the better, though, because a lot of the Marines are split up right now across the bases, and there was only a few in the middle. But as that Marine count grows, it's going to become a little bit too expensive to do that dive. Ooh, that Phoenix is down to 8 hit points. It's not going to live for much longer. Forge comes down here for MaxPax. He's supply blocked right now. Oh no, he chronoed his Colossus into a supply block. We've all been there before, man. A little bit of a mistake.
This game is stupid.
Oh, I feel that way when I supply block myself and then chrono as well. Bad luck, MaxPax, bad luck. We've all been there, buddy. Good to let it out rather than hold it in. He doesn't really mean it, guys. He doesn't really mean it. He loves the game, just saying there's moments of frustration when you mess up and you're annoyed at yourself. You've got to have an outlet. So we've, of course, mic'd up the players for those just tuning in, which is why we can hear their live thoughts, sometimes asking them questions as well as they play. Phoenix are still rallying across the map. There's 8 of them out. Oh, I wouldn't mind a dive on the Raven. Oh, he gets it! No, he doesn't. Doesn't lose a Phoenix, though, so it's okay. Oh, Widowmine. Good snatch. Gets rid of the Widowmine. That's a big bio ball, though, guys. And only 1 Colossus out. I feel like that 20-second delay on the Colossus is quite hurtful. Especially, it's even more if you count the chrono boost that got wasted. Maraudish concussive shells on the way. Pretty scary army, but MaxPax economy is looking great. As long as MaxPax doesn't just get separated here, like, I think if he warps in another sentry and a few units on the natural, it's an easy hold. But right now, with only 1 Colossus, I am a little worried for him, especially if the Raven gets off its spells. Oh, man. Watch out for the Matrix. Watch out for the Matrix. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. The Raven does go down. Interference Matrix goes off. Oh, I like how he's baiting him, but he's got to pull back. Battery Overcharge comes in. Oh, okay. Nice lifts on the Phoenix. And you know what, guys? Unlike Andrew Tate, MaxPax laughs in the face of the Matrix. He says, "You're afraid of the Matrix? Idiots." He's like, "I'm not worried at all, mate."
Danish Alpha Star has arrived.
Danish Alpha Star has arrived. Shuts that one down. Very well done. And units lost tab's looking pretty good. Not to mention the fact that that 3rd command center hasn't even finished just yet. MaxPax, the true top G in this series. Oh. Good drop on that. Not committing. Doesn't want to lose any of these Phoenix. And oh, I didn't even see those. Oh, that was a double kill. 2 Phoenix go down just when I'm like, doesn't want to lose any Phoenix. He's now lost 4 Phoenix in this game. Great Widowmine placement for Clem. And that loses you a bit of your air control. He's got to keep pumping Phoenix and Colossus in this game. With 3 Colossus out, that's big. But the thing is now, I feel like it gets kind of scary because you know Terran's probably going to swap to Viking production pretty soon. I say that. Clem's still building Bio Medevac. He's just going to try and Doom drop and split his army up to victory. And MaxPax has no observers on the map. That's got to be a big mistake. I really feel he needs observers right now. You can only get so much vision with Phoenix. Army on the top and the bottom at the same time. Clem coming in with some nice mobility here. It was a great early game for MaxPax, but he takes out a few Phoenix and springs into action. A couple of Adepts tank those Widow Mines. Not the most important unit. 2 Colossus and a bunch of Zealots guarding the natural. Very nice defense for MaxPax. He's coming in with the Zealot run by. Unfortunately, it's a Zealot walk by. They forgot to pack their shoes. Charge will be finishing in 10 seconds. At that point, they'll put their shoes on. But good reaction so far by Clem. The SCV's turn to fight. And it looks like, yeah, not the best idea. Zealot's getting some damage. MaxPax is in a really good position. He's got +1 attack now against the 1/1 of Terran. The Widowmine hits the SCVs as well. And the Zealot's going to take out 1 or 2 more SCVs perhaps before going down. Good stack on the SCVs to limit the damage. On the right side, Zealot Phoenix stumbles into this army. Oh no! 2 Colossus in the open. Hot pickups for MaxPax though. Oh! Picks it up and drops it like it's hot. Keeps his 4th alive in the bottom, does some Zealot damage, and keeps both Colossus alive. My god, MaxPax is really getting going now.
Nice try.
Nice try, he says, with the confidence of an absolute Chad gamer, laughing in the face of Clem trying to catch his Colossus outside. Clem cannot be happy right now. This army coming towards him is definitely very scary. Ooh, Bio caught in the middle. Oh no!
Hey, leave me alone.
Oh, Clem's getting caught out now. And the thing is, guys, he's only got 2 Vikings versus 4 Colossus. There's 5 Phoenix in the air. He cannot fight front on. He needs to have this army pinned back. But now he's on the defense. Even though he's got more army supply, the army is way better quality right now for Protoss, man. Oh my god. This is a big Zealot Archon timing. He's got a good spread, but there's not many Widow Mines left. They've already all fired. Oh no, this is a scary push, but a great surround by Clem. Pull back, MaxPax. You don't want to fight into that surround. but there's a lot of lasers in there. He's pushing forward. MaxPax has a 5th base on the way behind this right now. Clem is up one upgrade. It's the spreading that's limiting the splash damage that's keeping Clem alive. Clem is so good in these scrappy scenarios, but I'm telling you, he is so far behind right now. Clem, can we get an analysis of the situation you're in right now?
Well, you know what? Proto just has better tools.
Protoss just has better tools, he says, as he drops EMP that removes the shields off the entire army. It's a bit of an exaggeration. Some of those units in the back still do have shields. Widowmine's landing big. Clem trying to fight as best he can. Colossus Archon Zealot moving forward right now. MaxPax will not be slowed down. A Widowmine killed the Colossus. You don't see that every day. The Archon Zealot coming in. Those 2 Immortals and 3 Colossus. Too strong. MaxPax looking bloody good.
Protoss OP.
Ah, them bloody lasers.
Them bloody lasers, says Clem. Not too happy. MaxPax turning this series around, looking really good here and keeping his strategy very hard to guess. All right, down but not out. But now going into a rather difficult map in the top right side. It's Clem. He's going to go double gas opening with a proxy barracks just outside his main. Clem shifting gears here, saying, okay, you're going to play nasty StarCraft style. You're going to mix in some of those different plays. We'll mix it up as well. And I think on this map, he's probably not as comfortable playing a super regular macro game. Not a bad map to test it out. I would argue, though, that harassment mixed with greed is the best way to take advantage when it comes to how do you get ahead? Like, how do you get ahead as a player on this map? Well, it's a big map. It's hard to kill them with a frontal push, but if you're harassing them, keeping them on the defensive, and then you get greedy behind it, it's amazing. And Twitch chat says it's a Spirit map, it's not a Clem map, and I absolutely agree, because Spirit's really good at harassing and being greedy and defending. Clem is more of a straight-up player, though. In terms of his style, he's like, very standard. So I'm curious to see what his twist is on the double gas opening in order to take advantage. MaxPax has seen that there's a proxy barracks, hasn't really adjusted too much other than building the early Zealot. I wonder if he cancels that Zealot when he sees the Reaper shooting his probe. Let's go to MaxPax camera, guys. Zealot's already popping out, and the probe will be going down. This is MaxPax camera view, guys. He jumps home, starts putting workers on that second gas. He's got a Zealot, a Stalker, and Warp Gate on the way. And behind this, the barracks is lifted to the high ground. It's a reactor, and that command center will be building up there in the main base. Well, Clem, you've got over 400 minerals. There we go. Does start it up finally. Zealot's going to try to run around the side of the map, so it looks like that Zealot's just going to try and catch a command center on the low ground. But because the SCV spotted it, Clem, of course, is not going to fall for that. Stalker can pressure the natural as well a little bit, though. Can reach over that wall if you don't have a Widowmine there to shoot it. Zealot could take one for the team and die to that Widowmine. And look at this. Stalker will block scouting. Actually, no. The Reaper can just jump right up and see the Stargate. Never mind. I was like, he can go surprise Stargate. It's so clever. Reaper instantly jumps in and scouts exactly what's going on. No surprises in this game. Ooh, Widowmine's going to get a nice shot off. Very, very good. Guess the Zealot. Stalker's going to do a bit of harassment, but it's nothing too crazy. It's not very high impact just yet. Behind this, it looks like a second gateway is going to go down. MaxPax looks like he wants to play 3-gate here. Cyclone's on the way as well as a Viking. Marine's going to poke forward, but 2 Marines doesn't beat a Stalker on its own. Surprising that Clem's choosing to trade with just 2 Marines, but I guess he wanted to just bait the Stalker into a bad fight and then let the Reaper finish it off. MaxPax is going to lose that Stalker. Oh, yeah, he needed to get another shot off earlier. That's a really good trade for Clem. Stalker's a very valuable unit. Clem's only lost 1 Marine, and Clem's opening does look tighter. He was slightly supply blocked for a moment, but 2 Vikings and a Cyclone. These are all the units you need against a Stargate play. On the other hand, there is 3-gate production. So if you make a whole lot of Adepts and Phoenix non-stop, and Clem pushes you with Cyclone Viking, you can shade on top, pick up all the important units like the Cyclones, the tanks, take down the Vikings, and Clem will be in big trouble. And it's so long to get across this map, which is why Stargate is perfect here. Remember I said in that last game, Babylon's kind of small, you don't get a lot of time to react with your scouting info. On this map, you get all the time in the world. Good snipe on the probe that does take the 3rd. And oh, the Widowmine does get a good shot off. Oh, that's a good start to this for Clem. He's not got any SCVs coming, so the Viking is almost dead, but 2 Phoenix are already taken out of action. MaxPax 3rd base looking very vulnerable. He needs to start whooping in units right now. It's going to be Stalkers, which are the best unit for fighting against these basic Terran units, but they are expensive. And with no shield battery up just yet, it's going to be hard to hang on here. Here we go, Stalker's coming forward. There's a siege tank just behind this, a Widowmine as well. The Widowmine's really going to add some depth to this push. Makes it hard for the Phoenix to dive because the Widowmine splash is just so scary. Oh, you don't want to lose the third. I don't think MaxPax is willing to give up that third base, guys. He's going to go for it. He dives, he picks up the tank, takes that Widowmine on the face, but the Phoenix are getting gunned down. Oh, man. Clem is smashing with this push. More Stalkers warping in. Oh, no. MaxPax getting hammered. And even though we got the second and third gateway up at a good time, guys, the Phoenix taking all that damage, having already lost a Stalker on the map, and then chooses to take a very bad fight. I mean, Zealots are not bad units there, but I actually think Adepts instead of Stalkers is the better way to play it. It's always hard to say, but I do think shading Adepts on top is usually the best way to engage against this sort of army. Focus the Marines down with them and let the Phoenix handle everything else. MaxPax messes it up, and Clem, very importantly, after dropping his map on Babylon, takes MaxPax's map off him and ties up the series 2-2. Clem fought back with a real nice timing there in that last map. I actually think tech-wise, MaxPax had the perfect setup, but the details went wrong for him. He lost a Stalker on the other side of the map. He'd already opened up with an early Zealot that achieved nothing. And then having the Phoenix getting hammered by the Widow Mines, they were very vulnerable, was big. As well as, I think, choosing to commit to Stalkers works really well if you're able to get in front of the push and do damage to it, or if your battery's already up. But if not, he had a bit of time with that Nexus, and I think he could have actually waited and basically built a defense up. I think he could have waited, made a depth, shaded on top, or waited for another round of units would have been good. Clem comes in with a sneaky eBay block, guys. Oh, MaxPax is going to have to take a third base. This is a disaster for MaxPax. Gets down there immediately, just reroutes to the third base and says, okay. And like most Protoss players, he takes the triangle. I really think the other third is just a much better base. But the problem is that the main is so droppable. So people want their Stalkers to be able to blink to the high ground. That's why they take this base. So they can kind of defend both areas from the same position. It's just that this base is much easier for Terran to push. That's why I dislike it. Now behind this command center, it does go up on the high ground. The SCV! Oh god! Had an order to get back inside the base, but the wall is raised. Slight mistake for Clem not fixing that up. Reaper does come out. It's going to catch this probe, which we'll see that there is a Reaper into Reactor opening. Interesting. If I see Reaper Reactor, I'm often thinking, oh, is this going to be like 3 racks follow-up? eBay blocking at 3 racks is a really solid build. Second barracks goes down, and this is something that Beyond was doing a lot against Showtime, because Showtime was doing a lot of Stargate play. He's building a bunker down there, but I don't know if that bunker really achieves anything at all. There's already a Stalker out with another one on the way. Clem's waiting for like an Adept to shade out or something, but... Oh, he pulls back just before the Stalker moves down. He's going to get in the bunker. I think this is an easy hold for MaxPax. He's got a battery in the main as well, so he can just bring both Stalkers over to deal with the bunker. The Reaper jumps up. Oh, if that Stalker goes there, he might trap it. He might trap it. If Clem takes enough shots, that Stalker could move down here, but no, Clem doesn't spring the trap. A little bit too slow. He was just focusing on the shield battery there. Still, though, I don't think this bunker achieves anything. It slows down Clem's follow-up. And, yeah, it's not really doing too much. Waste a little bit of mining time. And the 3 racks is on the way behind it. Maybe distract MaxPax enough that he doesn't notice the 3 racks or think about it. We'll see if this works out. Blink has started up for MaxPax. He's going to have a pretty damn good blink timing. The bunker being very annoying here. He wants to focus the SCV, but Clem can always micro the SCV in and out of the bunker to dodge those Stalker projectiles if he chooses. Instead, he says, nah, let's give it up. This isn't really going to achieve anything here. He tries to focus the probe, but it just goes back in shield battery range. So gives it up, sells the bunker. Plus 75 minerals. You get 3/4 refund. Stalker on the other side. That's 5 Marines. Oh, God, get out of there. Oh, run, run, run. Run, MaxPax. Oh, the SCV. Clem tried to body block Warcraft 3 style. The Reaper does end up trying to grenade it, but doesn't actually block it, and the Stalker will get out of there. 3 Stalkers are in the front. Blinks on the way, as well as a second gateway. Good hold so far by MaxPax. Starts a Robo on the front in a very exposed location. He is 100% committed to defending this base. Reaper's going to try and rotate around the left side. Stalkers will miss it. But with a battery on each base, the Reaper can't kill anything. 3 racks is coming in. I think seeing so many Marines, you should have a very good idea you're up against 3 racks. And yeah, MaxPax goes 4 gate. So Clem has to be very cautious with this 3-Rex build. He's getting a quick factory and engineering bay, which means he's not committing too hard. And he scouts the 4-gate. Oh, information is everything in StarCraft. And he sees exactly what's going. He says, oh, cheeky 4-gate blink, huh?
Nice try.
Nice try on denying the scouting. Stalkers don't do it. MaxPax, though, says, oh, yeah? I'm going to go for a Dark Shrine. He says, you scouted what you think is 4-gate blink. I'm going to go surprise Dark Templar. And you'll never expect it. And 3-Rex never builds a Raven. So it's a very clever tech choice in this scenario. I always say MaxPax is one of the best DT users because he knows when to do it. And he realizes a 3-Rex player who's confirmed 4-gate blink. Actually, sorry, 3-gate blink. I'm really bad at counting gateways today, guys. Shh. My bad. But it does feel like a lot of gateways. Like there easily could be another gateway hidden out there. So, oh, actually, it was 4-gate. He canceled one. He did cancel one of the gateways. There we go. Very nice cancel on one of those gateways. Very, very good adjustments here by MaxPax. Does look like he's going to take a third base behind it. Of course, the DTs are gas heavy. They'll slow down his splash damage a lot. Right now, there is one scan available. No turrets, but the engineering bay is up. Is he going to drop a mule? Mule has not dropped. Stalker's starting to pressure up on the high ground. He blinks up. Whoa, MaxPax! You mad dog! Oh, MaxPax tries to mad dog it, but man, oh, Clem feels really good about that, dude. Oh my god. He's just like, shuts that down. You don't want Stalkers blinking into Stim Bio, dude. +1 and concussive on the way. The DTs are coming in now. He's dropped mules, guys, but he's got one scan that just came up in the main base. Oh, this is going to do damage. Stalkers on the front going to be annoying as well. Oh, he stumbled the second DT into the scan range, but luckily got it out of there. Stalkers distract the bio at the front, and the DTs are absolutely ransacking this base. MaxPax, you dark genius, you being a bit of a dirty boy. But remember, if you've gone DTs, you've got very little to defend at home. He needs to make a DT there as well. I mean, the DTs are killing almost everything. The turret's going up, but Clem's having to walk turrets up. He's having to creep them up into his main base little by little. And remember what I said about being committed to defending your third base? Not very good when there's a 3-Rex just coming into your position like this. The battery overcharge gets taken out. The DT is doing some work. The Immortal's going to help a lot. That Immortal on the right side comes in just at the right time. And with a battery on it as well, it looks like he can defend. Clem's trying to pick up and rotate in the main. Very clever maneuver on the other side of the map. It looks like the DTs all went down. That turret plus the bio going up. Very good play by Clem. Clem's handling what should have been a bad situation really well. The Stalkers are forced to blink up here. One of the medevacs goes down. If he blinks forward, he might get the other medevac. He does. Nice moves by MaxPax to shut down the aggression, but at a big cost. He's lost 17 workers. On the other hand, Clem was not mining his main, but he didn't actually lose that many workers. Now that he's reestablished control, it's like, okay, yeah, you've got, what, 4 Marauders, 8 Marines, 4 Mines, and a Viking. That's an awkward setup. But on the other hand, MaxPax is so low on economy, he has to chrono probes, desperately try to start the Colossus production, add a sentry in here. I definitely think he's got better tools, and most importantly, he just saw a Widow Mine drop leave the right side. If MaxPax goes to the top right, he'll intercept it. Oh, this could be a huge kill, guys, but no. Oh, MaxPax. He should know that that drops up there. He should go to the edge of the map and cut off the rotation, but MaxPax kind of doubts his own senses a little bit, and he actually runs home, which means that Widow Mine drop could be highly effective. Okay, Clem, this has been a pretty hectic game so far. Just wondering, mate, how are you feeling about the strategies? Are you ahead? Are you behind? What did you think of his build?
How is it fair that they're invisible?
Okay, don't want to really analyze the situation. Just want to talk about Dark Templar. Fair enough, mate. Well, speaking of invisible units, we've got Widow Mines, but no armory is being made. They will become visible after firing. Widow Mine in the natural goes down. So far, good D by MaxPax, but oh my god, there's a push on the front distracting. Widow Mines take out 6 probes while MaxPax is distracted. Nice play by Clem there. Another Widow Mine does go off, and he's just going to set these Widow Mines off one at a time with the Zealots, which isn't even trade. But remember, with the economy not being that high for MaxPax, he's going to need to be very careful in the next few engagements. Few Stalkers ready in the main in case a drop comes through. It does feel like MaxPax is stabilized, and with no third command center on the way, Clem is clearly going for a 2-base all-in, which would, I think, be really effective if MaxPax was on just an Immortal Zealot style. But because he's going Colossus, this feels really bad for Clem. Clem is building a second starport and a Ghost Academy on 2-base. Oh my... Okay, Clem is doing the most scuffed build I've ever seen, guys. He's going to try and get Ghosts and 2-port Viking on 2-base. You can't even support one port constant Viking production with a reactor and ghost production on 2 base. So Clem right now is just trying something out. He's going to try and do the most weird 2 base build ever. Like, obviously, he's just going to have to cut a lot of Marine Marauder production to afford all that. I think, yeah. Raider's in the chat. He says, did Clem forget his 3rd base? This is a very bizarre build. But he's basically saying 2 base or die trying. I'm going to do the most delayed 2 base all-in of all time. And it is a conscious decision. There's no way he forgot that he doesn't have his 3rd. This is a conscious decision to go beyond all-in. He says 1-1 upgrades, Vikings, Ghosts, and a Dream. He says Vikings counter Colossus, Ghosts counter everything. You know, if there's one way to bring it back, it's that. Because MaxPax, the longer the game goes, the more he's going to be like, oh, take a 4th, probe it up. Like, so many Protoss players will fall into that trap of doing normal things because they're like, well, it's too late for a 2-base all-in. Problem, MaxPax sees the entire map and he sees the giant army move out and he's already making balls. That's right, guys. Big boy disruptors are coming in right now. And that's going to be a big issue. 3 Colossus, an Immortal, 15 Zealots, 1 Disruptor, 2 Sentries, another one on the way. Batteries are building out front. Clem's got a lot of Marauders, so 18 Marauders, 10 Vikings, 2 Ghosts, good AMPs, could really open up the opportunities. Stalker's trying to skirmish out front. First Disruptor shot, clips a Marauder. Not bad, but also not game-ending or anything like that. MaxPax just needs to survive. This is a huge 2-base push. Clem's going to try to break in. The Vikings getting some big volleys on the Colossus. The Zealots go a little bit far forward. 1 AMP's gone out. There's still 1 remaining in there. Another Disruptor just buying time right now. These Disruptors getting close to coming off cooldown. Clem needs to find a way in. He needs to find a way in. He desperately needs to push. He gets a Colossus. There's only 1 Colossus left standing. The Disruptors are kind of panic shooting out there a bit early. Clem, what the hell? He's actually pushing in right now. He might make the impossible comeback happen. There's only 1 Robo. Another panic Disruptor goes out. The DT does get taken out. There's another one on the natural, but Clem is doing disgusting things right now. Oh my god, MaxPax cannot be happy with this.
Here in Ember.
Oh, big Disruptor lands on the landed Vikings, but he's just got so little army left as MaxPax. All of his Zealots kind of ran ahead and just died to the giant bio ball. Oh my god, Clem. But oh, DTs, and he's so overstimmed. He's so overstimmed with just 4 medevacs. And the DTs, he doesn't have scans, guys. Oh my god. Even though, I mean, can Clem do this? Oh, the Disruptor! It gets taken down. Another one fires to cover it, but he forces MaxPax away. A scan comes in, taking out the DT. Oh man, this is a weird, crazy situation right now. But Clem doing the unlimited 2-base all-in that says 2-base all-in is always good, man. The only mistake you can make as a Terran player is trying to macro. Just keep making units and go, go, go. Obviously not dropping any mules. Another scan takes out the DT. These last Disruptors need to land because MaxPax has got his 3rd overrun as well. What did we just see? Clem, 2-port, Ghost, Viking, 2-base all-in. What in the hell?
클렘인밥.
Oh my god, even Maru. He's sitting in the bleachers, jumping up and down, waving his hands in excitement. He says, Clem Imba. Hot damn. Alright guys, going into that next map. Needs to win this one and the following map to turn this series around. In the bottom left side, it's Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax. Hailing from Denmark and looking bloody fantastic. His opponent in the top right side, it's Team Liquid's Clem. Ooh-wee, I am excited to see what happens. You know, there's an old saying in the European StarCraft community, the Protoss players, they say, there is no point having Disruptors versus Clem unless you have at least 8. Any number below 8, and he will never let those Disruptors land. He's very good at this dodging. Now, the last time I said this, Clem immediately, in the game that I said this in the early game, took like 7 of the worst Disruptor shots I've ever seen him take. Versus like not that many Disruptors. But yeah, Clem's dodging ability is absolutely insane, and his micro is just so good. The back and forth, trying to bait the Zealots out in front of the army, EMPing the units, sniping down the Colossus with the Vikings, not letting the Disruptors land, and I think MaxPax had to be a lot more patient with those Disruptors. Potentially, he needed to just straight up commit to the fight and then throw the Disruptors at the same time, but it's very scary, very committed to Colossus, very hard to find the correct way to engage there. And Clem going back to the double gas build once again here. Did this on altitude as well. Man, I love having best of 7s because there is so much room for comebacks and all that sort of stuff. Probe does come in. It's a wall off there. It's going to harass? No, MaxPax just backs off there. Not going to bother. I mean, it's at most you hit the SCV a few times. Very unlikely to do much. Factory goes down, but he's pulled 3 workers off gas, which tells us Clem will go for the normal command center. No crazy one-base mass Widow Mine drop or anything like that. Cybercore is here, as well as that Nexus coming up on the natural. He's going to go Adept Warp Gate. The fact that Warp Gate starts tell us this is most likely a Twilight build, not a Stargate build. Reaper goes directly to where the probe is hiding. Wow. Wow.
Oh, I think he's map hacking.
Yeah. If they find your probe, I believe they always are. That's the rule. Good to see MaxPax. Many StarCraft players has those excuses up his sleeves. A true StarCraft player, for those who don't know, shows up to a tournament in a robe. Because a wizard's robe is, of course, the loosest item of clothing. The biggest sleeves for you to fit all those excuses up. And I'm sure both of these players have got them stacked up, ready to pull those excuse cards out at any moment. Twilight Council is about halfway done. Stalkers are building as well. Probe's getting chronoed out of these bases. Hellion does pull back there. And the Adept doesn't actually get to see. This is 2 Reapers building at a time, guys. Oh me, oh my. We're going to see a 3 Reaper 2 Hellion attack. There is an Adept and a Stalker. And a second Stalker, which is a pretty good setup for defending it if you've got all those units at home. But if this Adept gets caught out on the map or is just out there doing random stuff, things can go rough. Ooh-wee. And the Adept going forwards, but doesn't get to see any of this. Starport's on the way. Tech Lab on the factory. Second barracks does start up. And this Adept's going to move up to the high ground. Ooh, he gets inside the base. That's nice. Does see what's going on. Sees a Marine, sees no other units. And here comes the Alien Reaper. Probes pull back. You don't want to line those probes up for the aliens. Careful, MaxPax. He's got to pull these probes away from this. Tried to fight, but oh, that's a lot of probe damage. It's too much. He attacked his own Nexus. Oh no, MaxPax with a panic click attacked his own Nexus. 10 probes because he's microing his Adept on the other side of the map, trying to do a bit too much at once. And oh, not expecting the 3 Reaper 2 Hellion caught completely off guard.
Here in Ember.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Reaper and Hellion, you really need 3 gateway units at home, and you need to focus fire and try to spread those probes against the Hellions is more important than fighting. Because he's never going to beat the Stalkers in a fight. So it's more about spreading the probes out so they can't get focused down. And if he dives, maybe fighting with a few of them. But now MaxPax is miles behind. He's on 2-gate blink right now, guys. That's not a very economic spot. Raven does take a volley. Blink is not quite ready just yet. Oh, it's 10 seconds away. It's not ready. He needs that blink. MaxPax trying to make the most of a bad position here. He desperately needs damage, but instead he ends up sacrificing a bunch of Stalkers. And now he's got a Prism and 2 Stalkers coming across the map. So he's going to have a Prism drop, but against what? 3 barracks stim tanks on the way. Clem is looking large and in charge in this game, and MaxPax is going to need to make something magical happen with these Stalkers. He's got to run circles around Clem and find some big damage. We'll see if he can get it, man. He started off that game 2 and game 3 so well, but these last 2 games, things have been crumbling a little bit. Stalker's taking a fair bit of damage from that tank. He gets 1, 2, 3 SCVs. Make it 4. Make it 5. Not bad. Making it rain SCV kills right now. Even going to grab a Marine. Does lose 1 Stalker, but unfortunate. No damage really is allowed right now in this scenario for MaxPax. MaxPax also has to cut corners. He's going 3rd gas. I think he's going to play Mass Stalker Zealot from here. Not the best comeback style, but with a quick 3rd, there is always a chance. It's just such a quick 3 racks. I would be worried. Actually, it's a Raven build, though, for Clem. If he'd gone just straight Bio Medevac, I'd be a bit more worried for MaxPax. On the other hand, MaxPax is back up to an 11 worker lead. His Stalkers have done some good damage. If he can find a few more kills before Stim's done, that'll be massive. The natural, there's a siege tank there. He's going to try to just tank the siege tank damage and get the gas workers. Good pullback by Clem. Gets an SCV. Got to pull out that left side. MaxPax trying to multi-prong. Gets a Marine. Gets an SCV. Doesn't lose any Stalkers. That's good. Problem is always the Raven. I really feel that MaxPax, the Raven has always been his big issue in this situation. right in a position where you're like, oh, he's getting established. He's looking good. He's got 4-gate, making Mass Stalker Zealot. And then the auto turret hits as he's going in for an engagement. And I really think he should not be engaging. He goes for the dive. Whoa, good Prism Micro. Very good Prism Micro. And you know what? The auto turrets do go down. He's going to lose that whole probe line. That's always the problem. Even if he gets a good trade on the front, the auto turrets always ruin him on the backside. And that's been the real state of the game for him. When he's playing Twilight up against these Raven openings, they are just such a big nuisance. He gets a few Marauders, gets a tank, does whittle down the army supply of Clem, but Clem is still up 8 army supply. The Raven's still in the back for future use. Going up to 8 gateways now is MaxPax. He's keeping the supply surprisingly close. He's just got to find a way to deal with this stem bio. Oh, no, don't turn around. Oh, my God. The bio is running out of that stem, but the medevacs are now here. He's going to be able to heal up. Clem looking very healthy in this game. Yes, he's down 11 workers, but the army depth is there. The army depth has not caught up yet for the Protoss player. Raven accidentally gets F2'd in, immediately goes back to hide in the dead space. And here we go, guys. We've got that Zealot drop coming in. Unfortunately for MaxPax, it's a slow Zealot drop. He thinks better of it and pulls it back. No, none of those old Maxi Taxi maneuvers. For those who don't know, the Maxi Taxi was a specific maneuver where every PvT, MaxPax would click this prism into its death without looking at it unnecessarily at a point when he was already winning the game, did not need to backstab. I say that, and I can't believe it. Clem's going for the double Widow Mine. Okay, he pulls it to the front. That's good. I really thought MaxPax was going to drive into that. Here we go, guys. Clem right now scans, gets rid of the Observer. A gigantic army. And the scary thing for MaxPax is the Widow Mines. He gets rid of one of them. Good snipe. Zealot drop coming in as well. Let's see if he can get some big damage here. Zealot drop's going to pull him away. Stalkers, if they could pick off a Widow Mine, would be so big. But the Marauder's going to chase down 1 or 2 of those. Lots of Zealots and Immortals coming in. MaxPax playing a fantastic game from behind, guys. He gets 4 SCVs here, but the boys have been pulled to the front. I don't know if you can defend this. He's got force fields. Force fields on this ramp could be huge, but his Zealots went a little far forward. Oh, he could have split the army there, but he chooses not to. He's going to have to do it here. He loses a sentry before being able to use force fields, and those force fields working against him. Oh, no. Zealot's cleaning up a lot of economy. 11 workers have gone down at home. Clem does not care. He is all in as all in can be. You can lose the base. Just run away, MaxPax. He's pulled the boys. 2 base is fine, but he loses a lot of workers on the pull. That being said, the stims are wearing off. The medevacs aren't going to be able to juice this army up that quickly. And the Prism is still alive on the other side of the map, pinning a bit of the army and the rally at home. Clem kills the base and stays flexible. He sends the workers home. Really smart. The Zealots are going to try and chase those down. He says, no, no, no. You don't get to pull the boys and go back to work. Get back here. Oi, get back here. Bad, bad.
Can you please stop attacking my SCVs?
No, what? Oh my God, nicest guy in the world. Clem asks nicely. He says, can you please stop attacking my SCVs? MaxPax actually pulls the Zealots back and obliges. If that ain't sportsmanship, then I don't know what is. The Prism is going to pull to pull out of there, doesn't get sniped. But now, on 2-base income versus 2-base, this is actually really good for Clem, because he's like, hey, I'm back to 2-base mining. I got all those SCVs home. Another Stalker does go down. 1 Colossus is out. I don't know when he built the Colossus, but it does not have an extended thermal lance upgrade. MaxPax's supply blocked. He needs an ambush on this army. If he can pull the Widow Mines onto this army, this could be good. He's got 2 Immortals as well. I actually think MaxPax might have been able to take that fight. But the stim keeps scaring him back. The medevacs are low on juice. The medevacs are healing pretty quickly. Prism comes in, warps into Zealots. Oh, okay, those Zealots are going to do damage. Big Zealots on the natural as well. Good cancel on the 3rd base. MaxPax is actually up in supply significantly right now, but he does need to secure a 3rd in the near future. This army's sitting out here. Oh, he's got to be careful of those Widow Mines. No stim baited that time. Clem's getting a little bit more disciplined on that, realizing his units are very low. The Zealots and his Gaio units having a standoff, guys. It's World War I, Christmas Day, 1916, and apparently they shared a few cigarettes before going back to kill each other. The bio tank mine coming forward. Zealots are clearing up all of Clem's infrastructure in the natural. Another Colossus is out. Still no extended thermal lance. And he's got to move up to the top left and preferably flank this position would be ideal. The Prism went down though, unfortunately. If these Zealots could come around to flank, that'd be good. If MaxPax A moves from here, his army will clump around this corner and take maximum splash damage from the mines and the tanks. He cannot attack from there. Nice force fields, but a very bad angle. He does try to split to the north to minimize it. Can he clean this up? MaxPax fighting for his tournament life right now. He gets rid of the tanks, and guess what? The Stalkers take out the Widow Mines. Beautiful play by MaxPax. It's back to a 2-base versus 2-base situation. MaxPax is up in army supply. He's got +1. He starts a third Colossus. His probe's going to move out. He's going to try and resecure a third base. Clem is all in on 2-base, but he can always lift his main because he's Terran, guys. Remember, Tasagi. Terran Imba, as they say in Korean. More of a brood war thing than StarCraft 2, of course, and obviously we are joking, but how the hell can a Terran pull their boys and then go and just send them home and get back to mining? I'm sure MaxPax really feels like this should have been a much more all-in move than it was. Ghost Academy's on the way. Oh, not again. 2-base Ghost Viking again, this time with only 1 starport and 3 barracks, but he's going to do it again, guys. Clem says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go for it. Oh, 2 Stalkers going down. Nice catch there. These Stalkers are expensive, man. No +1 armor upgrade for Terran in this game, so it is equal upgrades. It's a lot of Zealot Archon coming in. Remember, when you lose your mineral mining as Protoss, you still have the ability to make Archons for a long time. Zealot run by is getting ready on the natural. Looks like maybe an Observer got sniped there. No, he hasn't built a single Observer this game, I don't think. Oh, yes, it did. Observer did go down. Was looking at the wrong tab there. Bio picking off some of their Zealots, which is very nice. The Viking count scary. So MaxPax needs to be able to just move the army. Like, if he gets stuck on a holding pattern where he's trying to kite with the Colossus versus the Vikings, he'll lose. Like in that last game. He needs to send these Zealots in pretty soon as well. He doesn't know about the army coming. The Observer going down is huge. The Vikings were hidden in the main. He's not going to find out about it till the last second. MaxPax, he's got extended thermal lance on the way, but it's not there yet. That's such an important upgrade, giving +2 range to the Colossus. The Vikings are here! MaxPax, oh, he gets a hit or 2 off on the Vikings, but not that many. And here we go. Zealots attack the natural. Landed Vikings and SCVs are going to get the worst end of that trade. But here we go. I think he's going to have to go for it soon. EMP lands. There's still 1 more EMP in the mix. MaxPax going in, going out. Not able to bait the stim, though. And now the Vikings get off 2 free volleys. That's what I'm worried about. MaxPax needs to be able to just engage head on. But he's worried he doesn't have the numbers. This is so bloody close. Clem kiting in and out. The Colossus getting gunned down. Great Viking micro by Clem. He's so good at the kiting. And now it's just Zealot Immortal Archon with only 1 Colossus. There is only 1 EMP in there, guys. But it's such good bio micro. Clem not letting him close the gap. He's now had an army supply. Probes are being pulled as well. Anything to try and equalize. He takes out the Widow Mines before they fire. The Stalker's going in. The Medevacs are out of energy. The Colossus will go down. The Archon Immortal doing pretty well. Disruptor does throw. And it's a big one. 5 Marines and a Marauder. The first Disruptor to land. Clem says, why did you curse me by talking about how I never get hit by Disruptors? What the hell, pig? The Widow Mine's going to take some big shots. Archon and Stalker goes down. The Colossus falls. It's a bunch of high-tech Protoss units versus landed Vikings. The Immortals gutting through the Marauders and the Vikings. MaxPax will not be going out just yet. We're getting another game 7. Oh my god. MaxPax, I thought you were dead. That early game was terrible. You lost 10 probes to a Reaper Hellion pressure. What do you have to say for yourself?
Lock up your wives, lock up your daughters. Protoss is coming.
Oh, he says it again.
Get wrecked, nerd.
Get wrecked, nerd, as well. Oh my god, throwing some straight fire, MaxPax. Let's go to game 7. All right. Well, we're fighting ourselves here. Game 7. Clem down here in the bottom left side of the map. And, of course, MaxPax in the top right. Fantastic play, giving up that third base and just pulling back, dude. That was a really, really solid play. I feel like it looked like Clem was going to take you out again, but the Stalker drop was actually really good. The Zealot drop was fantastic. Really good Stalker micro. It's so fragile, those Stalkers versus Stim Bio, but he managed to clinch it together. Of course, got both of these players live mic'd up, so at this point, it's really nice to just kind of get their thoughts on how the match is going, what their thoughts are, where they are. It's game 7 of a best of 7. What are you thinking about MaxPax's performance so far, Clem?
Wow, such a skillful race.
Wow, such a skillful race. Okay, a little bit of a scoff there. MaxPax, how about you? What do you think about these 2-base all-ins and SCV pulls and, you know, Ghosts and Vikings on 2-base? You feeling that's like a fair strategy?
This game is stupid.
Oh, okay, all right. They're both like feeling a little bit competitive right now. After the game is over, I'm sure they'll return to being friends. But right now, they are bitter mortal enemies, you know, across a factional divide, facing off against each other. And ooh, Clem's going proxy starport Hellion drop versus MaxPax is going proxy gate for a 3-gate. Oh me, oh my, they're both gambling. Guys, they're both gambling pretty hard when it comes to the final game. I think MaxPax build wins. I think it wins really, really hard. If it's all about information, but Clem has no scouting, and that's the issue. MaxPax builds a 2nd gate there. He'll plop a 3rd gateway down here right now. He's got 150 minerals. There we go. There it is. And there's an adept coming across, a stalker behind it. There's no add-on on the barracks. Oh my, I think MaxPax may have this, guys. This may be a build order victory. Seeing the command center. You see the reactor, and you see the barracks here. So you know there's a factory on a reactor. Now, as MaxPax, what you can do, right, is you can just defend this and be way ahead because you've got 3-gate. So just keep like 5 stalkers at home, and you're fine. The mistake MaxPax could make is if he goes across the map with too many units, leaves nothing at home, and somehow Clem pulls the boys, gets a defense together, survives with like a bunker, and the Hellions kill every single worker. But that's easier said than done. Because I'm pretty sure Clem's going to run out, stumble into a bunch of stalkers and adepts outside his base, and lose half of his Hellions on the way across the map. Let's see how it goes. That's a good catch for the Hellions. They do clean up an adept for free, essentially. A little bit of damage on them, but not too much. And they're going to see the gateway now. Clem will need to drop a bunker immediately. He's trying to put a factory on the tech lab barracks on the reactor. SCVs are pulled down to the natural for a transfer. He's seen the gateway, though. He needs a bunker on that high ground. He needs to go to survival mode. He pulls the SCVs back. Hellions come in. The stalkers are here. That medevac should get shot down, but it's a very fast drop. Oh my god, it's a very fast drop, guys. And the battery just wasn't quite done. The probes get pulled in, but oh, he still gets 5 workers. Can he get any more? Nope, just 5. And you know that attack's coming across the map now. That starport might not even make it home, let alone, and the natural definitely has to lift. He's going to put a tank on the high ground, though, which will keep him safe. I believe with a tank on the high ground, I think Clem's okay. Let's see. Sieges it up there. Very conservative placement. And those stalkers have to back off. Get out of here, MaxPax. The gateway getting scouted by the Hellions is a real big bummer for MaxPax. I'm sure Parting would have warped in on the front, got aggressive, and then warped in at home to defend. And we can see why that would have been potentially a game-winning move for MaxPax, because MaxPax is only on 34 probes. He's now resuming the big production. These stalkers coming in. The tank's on the low ground. Clem should not have moved his tank to the low ground. Oh no, Clem needed to keep that up there. He's now going to pull back up his ramp. That other tank needs... He can't siege it there. He sieges it way too far down. The stalkers could have ran forward and focused it, but oh, MaxPax does try to keep it tucked in right now. He's not letting it hang out. He wants to play safe. Clem's trying to move to the natural. I think he needs to play safer than this. He gets a big tank shot off, though. The bravery of Clem works out. I like that he's using his starport as a mobile wall right now. Another tank is on the way. Clem took some big damage. I think MaxPax can just transition from here. He doesn't need to force it because he's got a stalker drop and there's no mobility for Terran. So he can still shade adepts in and stuff and be annoying. But there we go. Look at that. Oh, he's even warping stalkers into the main. He's going for broke, man. There's still no Twilight behind this. MaxPax is like, hey, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Oh my god, the warp prism getting these units into the main and Clem not even seeing it.
Well, you know what? Proto just has better tools.
Protoss has better tools. No, not the time for complaining. Fight hard, Clem. Do not give up. This is game 7, and I want it to be an epic one for my own selfish reasons. Tank on the low ground gets caught, but no, it moves back to the high ground. He's going to siege it on the ramp. Observer sees it, trying to defend 2 mineral lines, but he's in a Protoss sandwich. The Terran filling is getting squeezed like peanut butter and jelly right now in between. Stalker bread on both sides. That tank does get a nice shot off, scaring it back for now. Trying to cover both sides at once is, of course, a little bit hard, but it looks like MaxPax pulled back on the front. He's going to dive on the siege deck. He will get it. Oh, the Marines, if they get the prism, can they cancel the warp in? No, they get the prism, but the Zealots do finish warping in. MaxPax has committed a lot to this, maybe overcommitted. Clem is gonna hold on. Stalkers do get recalled. Nice recall, but he loses 2 of them. And at the end of it, 5 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, first 13 Marines, and a tank left standing. 45 probes, first 30 SCVs, but there's double mule dropping, and Stim is about to kick in. Clem right now sees the pervy boy watching him, and you know he wants to get rid of him. He's gonna split the Marines and scan to get rid of that pervy boy. He says, you've watched me from the shadows for far too long. Mum and Dad said there wasn't a monster under the closet, but there very well may have been an observer peering through the window shades. Third Nexus in the top left side is going up, going into Robo Bay and Blink. It's a big advantage for MaxPax, guys. This is a fantastic situation for him, but I don't believe it's over just yet. I really do believe that I mean, we have Maru. He's riding the Clem hype train right now. Oh, Clem tries to come out, gets an adept, but don't want to be too overeager, man. Maru had this to say.
Clem imba.
Clem Imba, he's still there in the sidelines cheering him on from there. But I think Clem has really got to make some magic happen in this game. This is absolutely just a very bad position because the Colossus, they've been what keeps stuffing the 2-base all-ins as well. I mean, obviously there was the first big one on Dragon Scales that got him, but the other one, it was the Colossus just being very patient that managed to take him out. Careful, MaxPax, he doesn't have Blink yet, and that's Stim. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is a big catch. But there's a Stalker drop in the main. There's not much tech. Blink isn't quite done, guys. Okay, the Stalkers pick off some Marauders. The SCVs are forced to fight. Blink kicks in just in time. And that is a double Stim on the Marines, and they don't get all the Stalkers. Which means, guess what, guys? There's one medevac for healing. Oh, dude, this is like when you go to the hospital and you gotta wait 6 hours despite having a decapitated leg. Like, what the hell, man? Okay. The tanks are gonna siege. The Marines are here as well. The Colossus and the Stalkers are there. Clem's gonna try to make something of this, but he's in a desperate position. He cannot push through Stalker Colossus right now. I don't think there's any way. The Stalkers grab a tank. They blink back. The Marines try to punish. The Colossus says no! And at the end of the day, oh my god, MaxPax just coming out too strong there.
Danish Alpha Star has arrived.
Danish Alpha Star has arrived. Oh my lord. He's finally revealed the fact that he is indeed an AI, and from down 3-2 comes back, wins 2 games in a row in a very clutch manner. The 3-gate serving him well in this last game. A very good matchup at build orders, and MaxPax gets the GG, winning the series 4-3.